going on, everybody? My bad, Brian. It cut me off for whatever reason. It just ended the live. Here, I'll put you on for a couple minutes, and then we'll let somebody else jump on, all right? A couple minutes, and then let somebody else jump on. We'll get a difference of opinion.
Yo.
And again,
I just want you to know, I'm not disagreeing on your opinion. I'm just telling you from my point of view. I don't want to feel or make it seem like I'm disrespecting your channel or anything. No.
Understand something right now. I'm Cuban. So if you've ever been in a Cuban household, we argue and we sound like we're fucking about to break down into a fucking fight 5 minutes later over, you know, what freaking ketchup you bought for the hot dogs. I mean, so don't worry about it. Opinions are open. As long you can say what you feel, I can say what I feel. As long as we don't call each other out of name, we cool. You know, it's always fair.
And
so
yeah, but I just want to be clear. If it wasn't for Donkmaster and CC going to, like, for example, California, you know, they take the Savvy car there. You got those people on the West Coast that has the opportunity to race, you know, In-N-Out Custom or car from In-N-Out Custom. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know these California boys ain't going all the way to Florida. Some may will, but some may not. You know what I mean? And I'm just talking about Donk culture now. I ain't talking about these other racing, not no imports, not no...
we
just talking big rim racing. Only big
talking about big rim racing and Donk culture in general. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and this is gonna really upset a bunch of people, but I'm going to say it. All right. The truth of the matter is there are a lot of people that do not have the need or the want to have to drive 2,000 miles and take their car and go out of their state and go other places to make any kind of money or race any people because they got plenty of races at home.
Right.
The Donkmasters and the CCs of the world do what they do for one reason simple. Okay? If Donkmaster and CC stood their asses, let's say, home, and they just stood in the Carolinas, they would not have the same amount of attention and the same amount of publicity as they do going in different places. Now, to keep the thing going, they have to keep going. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's the kind of thing where if you don't keep feeding the beast, it's not going to keep eating. And this is their main source of revenue. But you've got a lot of people, I personally know, that have businesses, that make money, that have way too much shit going on that they don't need to leave their state. But they do this, and they're just as serious. They're just as capable. But it's a hobby to them. To Donkmaster and CC, this is their livelihood. There's a difference. And I don't knock anybody's hustle. I'm the same guy. If I had 500 cars lined up for tuning here in freaking Houston, do you think I'd leave? But I have people all over the country that ask for me to do work. I don't have that big of a workload here to handle, so I go out and get my money. Am I wrong for leaving here to go get it? Am I at the center of tuning because I go around the country? No. It just means that my situation is different than the next man's or the next woman's. So when you sit there and say that CC and Donkmaster are the nucleus of this entire thing, you have to remember something. It's a very small window and a small picture that you're watching when you see them doing what they're doing. And if people want to say that they have businesses, that's fine, but their businesses aren't the direct source of their revenue. They don't get 80% of their money from building cars. They get 80% of their money doing shows, getting these contracts, and going out of state. 20% of their money is gotten from building so-and-so's car or such and such's car. And if that's the case, they have to go out of state to go get the money. Because if they don't, they don't bring any in.
This is my thing. I don't know what percentage of income they do for this racing. I know it's fucking entertainment, okay? So when I see a big race event come up, you took Donkmaster and CC out the picture. I just want to see who's going to entertain me with some big rims going down the track. You get what I'm saying? And
again, I'm not a fan of DNL.
I understand it's a hobby for all of us. And some people may take their hobby more serious than others. But, you know, like I said before, this is the Donk game. This is the Donk culture. And for them to continue doing it, you got other promoters like we done seen when Donkmaster laid down, they can throw events. But the reason why everybody are the trend, why Donkmaster and CC is the trending topic, is because they are more entertaining. They may travel more, they may do more of on this culture, but everybody likes to see them race everybody else. You know what I'm saying? If touring out, if you just took touring out, let's not even use the word touring. You know, every city, like I said before, been doing car shows and been doing track life. You know, before the Donk game. You know,
this is the only thing I'll say. Here's the only thing I'll say.
They are entertaining. You get what I'm saying? If you put big rims on that truck and you go race easy money, you are a part of the culture. You get what I'm saying?
I get you, but
you could take your rims off and race in another league, race somewhere else. But when you put the rims on it, you are a part of the culture.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. You're entertained by their personalities. I get it. Understand something. There's a saying in Japanese, "Uteu utulero," which means the nail that sticks out gets hammered. If you make yourself a target, if you make yourself something to be seen, people are going to believe that you're something important, and you're going to get attention. I.e., the hammer is going to want to nail it. Remember that. They're not necessarily the best. I'm not saying they're the worst item. I'm not saying they're trash. But I'm saying this. Anybody that sits here and tells me that they are the nucleus of donk racing has got to look at a bigger picture. Go do your... If you want to be entertained, do yourself a favor. Don't tell nobody. Just go watch the DNL show. And I'm not a fan of DNL. I don't get paid by them. And let's say that half of their camp don't like me. Okay? They don't even follow me. They got me blocked. I got them blocked. Go watch their show. Go on the, go and watch. There's going to be a show out in No Problem Raceway in September out in freaking Baton Rouge. Go watch that. There's Whip Fest. Go watch that. Just watch. Watch with an open mind. Sit down and just look at it.
That's like saying, let's watch a pickup game between Kobe and Mike. Okay? What you rather watch? Them play the pickup game to see who's better, or to see Lakers and Chicago, 96 Chicago Bulls shoot for the championship?
I'm a basketball fan.
Entertaining to you?
I'm a basketball fan. I'd like to watch both.
And that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Because that's a donk culture. I would love to watch DNL, and I also would love to watch Donkmaster and CC race too, regardless if they win or lose. I want to see a big rim car go down the track. You know
which then backs up.
But which one is more entertaining?
But again,
whichever big rim come to the step to the plate. So if two fly go against Donkmaster, it's going to be more entertaining than two fly going against Blue.
Hold up. I mean, hold up. You're going down the road of fandom. The initial conversation was, and the initial point that I found issue with is, you just backed it up for me. They are not, CC and Donkmaster are not the culture. Because you can go and watch the DNL show, you can go to Baton Rouge, you can go to Texas, you can go to California, and still watch In and Out Customs and be entertained with all of it. So they are not the center of it. They're a part.
CC is the villain, and he's the glue of the situation, and he's the one bought the blueprint.
We're gonna agree.
If he didn't go to their city and race two fly that first night, we're having this conversation.
We're gonna agree to disagree, because we'd have this conversation even if CC didn't even know what a car was. To be honest, sorry.
But you're right.
Sorry.
All right, so, look who's racing though.
Again, we can keep going around.
A part of the donk culture is gambling.
Bro, we're going around. Gambling. We're going around in circles. This is becoming a cyclic conversation, because what happens is you keep saying that they're the center, you keep backing up that they're not the center, but you keep saying they're the center because they're entertainment. Again, it's your preference. I get it. Fact is,
and I told you this at the beginning. I'm Carolina.
Right. I get that, and I'm not taking it away from you. But fact is,
I ain't backing down from that. If I ever
that's
get a
fine.
car, I'm gonna race it too, and I'm gonna represent Carolina. I got
That's
two
fine.
brothers, last name Scott. They're the best mechanics in the motherfucking South. I guarantee you, the boys gonna put something in their ass when I put that money in their pocket.
But again, we're going around in a conversation. We're not gonna get anywhere. But it's cool, bro. I appreciate your opinion.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and let the next man talk. I appreciate you.
No problem, man. Have a good one, brother.
You too.
Again, a good conversation to have, folks. And yeah, you know what? People say wrap it up to this. I let a man finish his thought. You know, it's only fair. It's only fair. He is a fan. He admitted he's a fan. But I'm a fan of the culture. And there are certain things that certain people do that I'm not cool with. I have never met Murph. But in doing research and learning about the Donk culture, I understand that he's the Pope. You know, you don't disrespect the Pope. You don't sit here and disrespect the people that are in it and make it that you are everything and everyone else is nothing. And, well, the fans are not realistic, Bud, because he's realistic from his point of view. Again, he's a fan. So from his point of view, they're entertaining. You know, I'm not a country music fan. I'm not. A lot of people think Blake Shelton's the greatest fucking, you know, songwriter and musician in the world. I would disagree. I think Michael Jackson was the best artist ever and Prince was second. But that's just me. Doesn't mean I'm right and he's wrong. Or doesn't mean that they're right and I'm wrong. From your opinion, from your point of opinion, from your point of view, your opinion is always going to be right. There is no way it ever changes. Fact is, if you're going to say that those two are the center, that this whole thing would fall into pieces without them, it's already been proven that it ain't the center. So there we go. Let's get a Florida look at this thing. I already know how this is gonna go. And disclaimer, just so you understand, Mr. Doc Boys here isn't necessarily one of my biggest fans. I know that already.
Great.
Well, you and I get into a lot of issues sometimes. I get it. So I get it. So I'm being again. People can never say I ain't fair.
What I missed? What Buddy was on talking about?
Again, he was talking about, and this is the thing. He was talking about that CC and Donkmaster are entertaining. Again, I can't take that away from a person that you're gonna feel how you want to feel. But it went south for me. The conversation went a little south, and I took issue with when he said that the Donk culture is and revolves around Donkmaster and CC, and without them, there would be nothing.
No, hell no.
And that they were
the one thing I would give Donkmaster and CC on the business part as far as having the shows at the track.
Again,
you know, I definitely give them that because they're definitely businessmen. You know, they bought that track. You know, they bought the racing to the track and made a business out of it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't take it away.
If you're from down here, like in Miami, this Donk shit, it's like a rite of passage. You understand what I'm saying? It's like this is what makes some people a man. You know, if you come from that life or from this culture.
Listen, every city, every state's got its culture. You can go to LA and they got the lowrider culture. You can go to some places and they have the import culture. You don't take it away from them. But one person is not the center of it all. It can't start and end with one guy. It can start with one guy and it grows into something. Well, when it becomes something, it's a group of people. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Donk culture is going to fall apart with DM and CC gone, because we already know it didn't. Is it better with them? Is it better with them in it? Yeah. But it ain't going to die without them.
At the same time, they don't need to go. You know, everybody just need to get on one page. And like I always say, support each other. As far as the racers, if there's just some promoting shit, people that's trying to book races and stuff like that, then they need to pay. But Fast and Flashy, listen, on the business side, DNL show is going to do good. CAD show did good. A to the Base show sells out every time. Fast and Flashy is going to sell out.
Right.
You know, and then if everybody gets together and makes the money, like I always say, everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs to support each other.
Right.
But at the same time, everybody to hold their own in their own city. Donkmaster show is going to do good in his city, whether Florida doesn't come, Georgia doesn't come. Florida's is going to do good. A to the Base show is going to do good.
Yeah, it is.
Grand Nasty show is going to do good. You know, when you're dealing with your city and your state, you're going to do good. Bruce show is going to do good. But everything could be a whole lot better if everybody comes together.
Yeah, the problem with that is that CC and Donkmaster are their own worst enemy when it came to that, because they showed everybody that with less work you can make more money. They showed everybody with less work and more drama you can make more money.
Watch what I tell you. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if y'all don't see CC and Donkmaster in the Skittle Pack pull up on the 29th. And you know why I say this? You know why I say this? Because it's business. What is the best publicity for them? And then if they got Viceland following them around, what is the best footage for them?
Here's the only side effect though. Here's the only side effect I'll say to that. The only negative to that. And why I personally don't think it would happen. I'd like to see it happen, but I don't think it's going to happen, and here's why.
I got a good feeling. But go ahead, let me hear it.
The reason why it ain't going to go for them is because they right now have too much riding on the line with Viceland and this whole anybody can get it tour, that if they take losses and if they get exposed to being quote-unquote just equal to everybody else, it's going to limit their amount of money for this TV show that they're hunting for. They have an image that they have to hold up. And remember, when they were racing people 2 years ago, Donkmaster had a distinct advantage because a lot of people didn't take the racing thing serious. He did, and he was ahead of everybody. Now you've got, I could argue, 20 cars. Before 2 years ago, you had maybe what, 5, 6? You've got 20 cars that are easily capable of absolutely running either one of Donkmaster's cars out of his life. 20.
Yeah, they definitely was ahead of the game, like you say, because people really wasn't going to the track. They wasn't testing it. It wasn't putting money into suspension. So, you know, the time has caught up with him.
Thank you.
Win, lose, or draw. It's just like how it started with the Discovery Channel with with Big Chief and all those guys. You know, you're gonna take your wins, you're gonna take your losses, but at the same time, they want to bring ratings. That's why I feel. That's why I feel that the footage.
See, the thing is, the one thing I'll say about that, though, is that you got to understand the Street Outlaw guys. You really got to understand them. They had a very tight thing, and they were making tons of cash before, before the Street Outlaw stuff. Not as much money as they're making now. I'm not even going to front. But they were making money, and they were doing good. They did not need the show. The show was an add-on to that. And their revenue stream, I keep telling people this, their revenue streams, for most of those guys in Street Outlaws, they all got shops or legitimate businesses that make hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to afford the cars before the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, Donkmaster and CC, let's be honest, we take away this donk racing thing from them, and there goes probably a good 70% of their revenue. Poof, gone. So this is something that they have to take care of because this feeds not only their families, but it feeds them. And I'm never going to be one to say that a man should not earn or do what he has to do to take care of himself and his way of life. They're going to do what they want to do. And that's fine for them.
And you know what I just read one of the things say about the pull-up situation. It's just like like I was thinking. Some people, like you just said, that's their lane. Their lane is to go see the state to state. You know, that's their thing. You know, down here, people have shops, people have other jobs. Fly has a job, CAD has jobs. So their thing is not to travel or put on a tour because that's not really their means of eating. Like you say with Donkmaster, they have the shop and then they have the tour and then they have, the merchandise and all the other stuff. So, everybody has their own lanes and way of doing things.
I will tell you this right now, folks, as a shop owner myself, If I could make $80,000 to $100,000 over 2 days, that's going to become my primary source of money, and I will do everything that I have to keep nurturing that versus going into my shop and working.
Right.
Sorry. It's just the truth. I could make $1 million in my shop a year. If I can make 80 grand over 2 days, over 3 days, and all I got to do is go to a track and set up an event, where is my attention going to be? Right. And where is 80% of my money going to come from? It's going to come from there. And anybody that says otherwise is lying. That's why I keep telling you, understand something about this. And this is the thing that people have to really get through their heads. If you're a Donkmaster fan, you're a CC fan, that's great. Be their fans. Don't ever sit there and change. But understand that those guys are a part of a bigger picture, and until everybody can sit at a table and humble themselves and say, you know what, let's stop with the bullshit, and let's look at this as a bigger freaking thing, bigger than me, bigger than you, bigger than the guy behind you, then we're going to get somewhere. But until that happens, nobody's going to get anywhere. And the problem is, why are people going to sit here and humble themselves when they can do what I just told you, which is make $80,000 to $100,000 over a weekend? It don't make no sense to.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't make financial sense to. The money has definitely it has definitely been a big down factor for the you know, for everything as far as with the camps and they're doing the shows. I'll put it this way: everybody knows, the ones that throw the shows, they know the potential of the money that could be made because they done made it. So now it goes to, okay, I want this much because I know you can make this much, or this and that. You know, sometimes the business part really threw off what they first started with, which was really just having fun. Yeah, that's what it was. You know, but the thing is that a lot of cats, for me, started getting a little bit too big for themselves, started thinking that they were or are the industry, and thinking that they are what it is. You know, I mean, dude, you got fans sitting here saying that they're the nucleus of everything. Like, really? Like, bro, let's get serious here. When you get fans thinking and drinking your Kool-Aid, that's the worst thing in the freaking industry, because now what happens is you've got people so narrow-minded that they're not willing to look at anything else. You don't have people willing to look at different shit. Oh, there's if it wasn't for them, there ain't no racing because these guys in California wouldn't be racing. Dude, have you ever seen any of the cars out in Cali? Probably not.
Well,
I have.
Well,
has anybody ever seen the cars in Texas? Probably not.
I look at these guys as far as the fans, it's just like your favorite football team or your basketball team. They're going to go hard for their team. You know. Yep. That's how I take it. I don't take it nothing. You know. Sometimes, you know, people get out of line or whatever, but you know, it is going hard for the camp. That's all.
Yeah, the only thing is that I don't like it when camps start pushing a narrative that basically makes the people who are coming up or want to get into the game feel disrespected, slighted, or small because of it, or make it so toxic that they don't want to get anywhere near it. My example was, you know, they got that anybody can get it tour. So if I put 26s on this truck and I feel worthy and have the money to race one of them, why can't I pull up and race them? Anybody can get it, right? There's no stipulations. What if you had a 71 Donk that you put together and you had a jet rocket engine in the fucking thing and you got it on 26s? You built it, you put it together. Now because of whatever reason, because it's a day that ends in Y, or because they just don't like you, or because they just feel that they don't want to race you for whatever reason, they'll come up with a reason as to not racing you? No. Again, don't make a claim and don't sit out there and put something out on paper or put something out there to the public and say, this is what we're about half the time.
But Kreative, you know what? Everybody know how CC is. And CC is crazy. But CC, you put some 26s on that damn truck and pull up there. CC go race you. I'll give him back.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
Yes.
We're going to find out.
If you put the rims on the truck, he'll give you a run.
We'll find out.
That's one thing. Listen, that's one thing I could give CC. He never backed down from a race. He actually
Well,
took races. He took races that Donkmaster was supposed to, you know, he took fades for Donkmaster. When Donkmaster backed out of races.
well, I'm gonna say this:
And he's saying that.
him taking races that Donkmaster didn't want to take, I think it was more of a strategic move versus a, oh shit, this happened, I can't race kind of thing. Again, a lot of people think that, you know, when you yell and you scream and you hoop and you holler and you make this stuff happen, that it's a lot of, you know, happen circumstance. I believe that people actually plan out a lot more than you want to give them credit for, because I do the same thing. I make a lot of people think that I don't know shit, and yet on the other hand, I know everything that you think I might know and more than, and that's just the way it works.
It's like you're saying. See, a lot of these fans, this is their first introduction into drag racing or grudge racing. If they ever been to tracks, like we go to Orlando, you know, we go to Orlando for Nigga National and stuff like that. If they ever been to tracks, they'll know the true meaning of grudge racing and you know.
If everybody watching this, if you want to understand what grudge racing is, if you ever want to get the real truth and see true hustle and true mind games, do yourselves a favor and come to TX2K. It's going to be TX2K20. Come out next year to TX2K. It ain't because I'm in Texas. I moved to Texas because of TX2K. Okay?
Right.
Come out here and watch what one whole weekend of nothing but street races. Dude, the cops are so fucking crazy about this stuff. This is the kind of game the cops have to play. They had Hellcat Chargers with nitrous as cop cars. You know you're doing something when the people chasing you have to put freaking a spray kit on a Hellcat. Okay, so not to disrespect the Donk game, but what y'all see at these tracks going on is small change to what really happens a lot of the places in this country. So let's just back up for a second and say that this is something that's small right now, can grow into something bigger if people actually decided to let the egos be second and the money be first. Right. Just the way it needs to be.
Well, I'll tell you this: the idea that Bruce have with the race list.
Yep.
Just watch. After the DNL show, they're going to kick it off down here, and the people are going to see something because you have a lot of cars that's coming out of shops right now.
Who do you think's one of the people that's been talking with Bruce trying to help him get this thing going?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you.
And there's a reason why. Because it can't hurt. It can't hurt.
Listen, now that everybody, like all the camps and everybody, you know, not even the ones that's in camps, but everybody's on board down here, it's going to be something special, man. Believe me.
I hope it becomes something, man. But hey, you know what? I'll let you go. I'm going to let somebody else jump on because people are asking. And it was good talking with you. Good that we could actually agree on something for a change.
Always, man. Peace, man. Love.
Same here, bro.
All right.
Bye. Let's see who's next. Let's see who's next. I know who I'll throw on next. Here we go. We'll throw on one more person from Florida. Yeah, one love, Doc. We'll throw one more person from Florida, and then I want to talk to somebody that ain't from Florida.
I'm next.
Yeah, you're next. Keep it short and simple.
Keep it short?
Keep it short.
Okay. Let me go off of what the dudes, not the dude who's just on, the dude from Carolina, the fan, the in and out fan and all that, right?
Grind photo. Again, don't be disrespectful. Don't call him out his name.
I'm not gonna be
He's entitled to his opinion.
He's entitled to his opinion and all that. I respect that. That's cool. But for him to say that the Donk game, pretty much saying revolves around CC and Donkmaster, that's completely false. Because it's only 2 cars up there. Nope. In Carolina, who else is next? And the shit I started realizing with them and everything and all that, I'm like, okay, if y'all the fastest and everything, right? How come Florida, they got all these fucking Donks down here, is not on your tour? Now, just because you going, hold on, let me finish. So Just because you go from city to city and state to state don't mean that you're racing a dunk. Ain't nobody paying no fucking money to see Donkmaster race a Honda. Who want to see that? I'm not. Ain't nobody on this live want to see that. So I'm like, that shit to me and everything. What's up?
The only thing I'll say about this is the only counter, and you know me, I always keep it fair.
Go ahead.
The only thing I'll say about this is simple, okay?
Go ahead.
They have 2 cars in the Carolinas. Florida's got like 80. I'll just throw a number out there, okay?
Okay.
Florida has a tough time, or for whatever reason, Florida's got a bug up its ass that it has to go and demolish them boys to no apparent reason. For whatever reason, Florida, to fly in general, and other people feel that they got to constantly race Donkmaster and they got to constantly race CC. If they're not relevant, why do they keep going looking for them? That's my only thing.
But,
if they're not relevant, why?
Okay, but hold on, wait a minute. They claim they're the fastest, right? So if you the fastest and all that, bring your ass back down here when we got all these dunks at and prove it again and all that. Like, what's the problem? Like okay, if I got a dunk and I'm the fastest and all that, I'm coming back down and everything to prove a point once again. Everything that y'all can't beat me, y'all ain't fucking with me and all that. If I'm going, listen. I know that you're a freaking Pats fan. If I'm the Pats, why do I have to go play the Miami Dolphins 3 times a year? Okay.
So again, why do I? And if I do have to play them 3 times a year, why do I have to go to Miami? Other than the fact that I want to.
Okay.
If you're Golden State, why do you have to go play the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento? Make them come to your house. They want to play me, come here. You know, that's the thing I say about it. Again, if Florida wants Donkmaster so bad, pack up every car in Florida, go out there when he's got an event. He's got this whole anybody can get it to it. Just pull up to his event, don't fucking talk, just take a bag of money, line up in the freaking lanes, and he either races you or he doesn't. The problem is he understands, he knows that people will not go and race him. He knows it.
But
he's counting on it.
Okay, but at the same time and everything, now don't get me wrong, I'm you know me and Donkmaster, we cool. Just like me and CC, we cool. But at the same time and all that still make me kind of iffy about you. Like, well, damn, like, okay, if y'all fast and all this and everything, you claim, like, okay, you're claiming to be the fastest now. Now, everybody down here got tightened up and, you know, everybody know what's going on and everything and all that. They ready for you down here and all that. So now, you could, what's up?
Let me ask you a very simple question, okay?
Go ahead.
I'm going to give 5 names right now, and let's just play hypothetical, okay? Let's say 5 names. And we'll leave Bruce out of it. 2 Fly, Rose, Blue Magic, Hollywood, and Macho. If those 5 cars loaded up on a trailer and said, we're going to put all our beef aside, we're not going to race each other, we're going to just put our beef aside and all load up on the same truck. And they went to, where's the next place Donkmaster going to be with the Z06? Where's it anybody can get it to? Or just pick a random place, the next place he's going to be at.
I don't know what's going to be at.
Okay? Let's say it's going to be in, I don't know, Georgia. Let's say that his next spot is Georgia.
Okay.
And they all pulled their freaking resources together, loaded up those 5 cars, and went to Georgia. Didn't tell him he's coming. Didn't say shit. Just went. And they showed up, and they both blocked the lanes. Do you honestly think Donkmaster and CC gonna race any one of those 5?
Very few.
Thank you. There's gonna be at least 3 hours. There's gonna be at least 3 hours of fucking bullshit.
Of course.
And no racing. It's at Georgia. Okay, if those 5 guys just went to the track and said, we ain't talking, put bags of money on the hood, let him pick whatever lane he wants, however many test passes he wants, he can do whatever he wants, but he's racing one of the 5. We're not talking. We're going to be in the trailer back there. When you're ready, let us know. We'll get in the car, start it up, and move up. How much you want to bet it don't happen?
Besides, yeah, because they're going to bullshit each other. You know how they start talking and all that?
They're betting on that people will not race.
But if you're the fastest, right? Now I'm talking to you. If you're the fastest, if you're Donkmaster and all of them, won't you come down here and all that, prove it once again, everything that you're the fastest?
Again, I'm a guy that does. I'm a guy that drives. Again, I'm a guy that drives. I'm a guy that drives 900 miles. I'm a guy that drives 900 miles to drop off a transmission. So yeah, I would go.
Okay. People gonna get.
You're asking the wrong guy.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, everything. If you're him and everything and all that, people gonna get tired of seeing you race Booze Doctor. People gonna know. People already know that you're gonna beat Hemsley. Come back down here and all that. It's a lot of down there.
The reason why he doesn't want to come back down there is because it doesn't make financial sense for him. I'm being honest. Why go down there and let other people have control of the money? It's about money. He's going to control the money. It's at his event. It's at his place. It's what he's doing. He gets the revenue. Why is he going to let you, me, or anybody else control his money?
Okay. At the same time and everything, in the beginning of their tour, they could have still booked Florida like they did last year and the year before.
Again, why would he put anybody else in control?
Okay, so let me just flip this real fast and all that. I'm gonna get off. At every fashion flashy and all that, right? You know, people come out, they come out to see Donkmaster and all and everything and all that, and CC do their thing and all that. But at every fashion flashy and all that, it always been a Florida card to headline with them, not just them. Because I'm pretty sure if there was no Florida card there, nobody don't care about really seeing who they're gonna race and all that.
I agree, but at the same time, you're talking about a man who's been in jail for several months, who has to make money, who has an opportunity to get a TV show and get past all of this show cash and be set for the rest of his life. If I was somebody in his camp advising him, I would tell him to stay away from the Florida boys like the fucking plague, like they had AIDS. Because because it doesn't benefit him any. It doesn't benefit him any. Why, if you're Mayweather, will you fight freaking Pacquiao in his prime? Why?
Okay, but that's the thing. They claiming they got the fucking money. You hear CC?
So you can claim. So you can claim it.
No, hold on, wait a minute. And CC always online talking about how much money he got and everything and all that. Then money's not an issue. All that shit's not a problem no more and all that. Then that's what I'm saying.
Dude, hello. How many rappers you know actually own the cars that they have in their videos?
Oh,
dude,
man.
Ross said it. Ross even said it, dude. Ross even said it. Man, I got depressed when I found out you guys didn't even own those cars. Hello.
I know that.
Ross even said it.
Lewis, me and you talk. We know what's up and all that. I'm just talking.
If we know that that's the case, then why can we, or why do you, as a Florida fan, sit here and wonder why they don't come down to you? It's obvious. They don't have to. There's no incentive. There's no incentive for that.
Somebody just
put it this way.
Hollywood and Macho show up. That is true.
Put it this way. There's no incentive for them to come here to Texas and race me. None. There's all of the incentive in the world for me to go and race them. So then why would they want to come and race me? I can't expect them to come here. There's no way in hell they come here to race me. No way. It will never happen.
Like
never,
said,
and not in a million years. Now, mind you, if I beat them several times, then yes, now the incentive is to come and beat me because now it's a thing of ego. But until then, there's no incentive because money's first.
Okay. So
remember that.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me go back to that. What's that dude name again? Who was on earlier? Who's the fan of In and Out?
Grind Photo. He cool.
Yeah. Okay.
He's cool people.
Cool people. I'm gonna against the guy. I bet you, if he come down here the 29th. Now, I'm not a big D and Out fan and all that and everything and all that, but at the same time, if he come down here, I guarantee he's gonna have a whole different whole different atmosphere, of this coach really going on. He's gonna have a really good time. He's gonna really enjoy himself and all that. Because this Donks out here that's still getting built or really coming out next year and all that, and it's faster than Donkmaster and CC.
Listen,
but
if you go to any event, you're gonna have a good time. Any event. It all depends on going there with an open mind. If you go to any event with no drama and an open mind, you're going to have a good time. Any event. I had a great time in Reynolds. I had a great time in Orlando. I've had a great time out in freaking California. I've been to freaking events in Vegas. I've been to events in freaking Dallas. You go to any event, you're going to have a good time. So.
All I got to say right now, last thing I got to say right now is pretty much Florida over everything right now. And Florida over everything right now. Y'all put them hundreds up right now. If y'all agree with me, put them hundreds up. Put them hundreds up right now. Hundreds.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I might have to put a little bit of a chink in that armor. I'm gonna have to put a hole in that theory. I'm gonna have to put a hole in that theory. I'm gonna work for it. You know I'm gonna work for it.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you there.
All right, brother. Stay safe.
All right. Salute.
Again, folks, agree to disagree, Agree to disagree. I do admit that there's way more, there's a lot of them in Florida. I'm going to admit there's a lot of them in Florida, but I'll say that Florida I'm not going to say Florida's the fastest, but I'm going to say that Florida has a lot of fast ones. So we'll agree to disagree on that one. Hey, I'm glad we could have this conversation, folks. I'm really glad we could have this conversation. It's important that we had it, you know? It's important that we had it. Who do I like personally? I personally like Macho's car. I like his build. I personally like Rosé's car. I like him as people. I like him as car owners. I like him as car driver. Personally, those are two Florida cars. I would love to see Chevys and Bullies hit the track. I personally would love to see Chevys and Bullies hit the track. I can't wait to see what freaking Cut the Check does. I really can't. Again, I'm a fan of the culture. I'm a fan of the sport. So I'm not going to wave the pom-poms for any one particular person. I'm going to sit here and say that I hope that everybody is on the same level and it's challenging and they're all even races and you get to see shit go down the track. That's what I want to see. You know? I'm a fan of Bruce's because Bruce is a cool person. You know? I mean, I gravitate to people more than to states or cars. That's just me. You know, I like the personality of a person. I like somebody who's humble, who's got a chip on his shoulder, who could talk the shit, but somebody who's, you know, more about the sport and less about the fucking bullshit. That's just me. I'm a fan of Savvy's. I am. I'm a fan of Savvy's. You know, I will go. I mean, you know, him, Savvy, I'm staying out of it. You know, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the culture, folks. I'm not just a fan of a camp or a particular. I'm a fan of the culture. You know, I want to see the racing go down, and as long as there's competition, it's competitive. Everybody's doing what they got. Flacco, Fly, DMCC, Chevys and Bullies in Hollywood. Flacco, Fly, and Chevys and Bullies I'd have to leave off that list because, again, everybody looks fast in a test pass. Everybody looks fast with nobody next to them. Until you line up against somebody and until you have that pressure, until there's somebody there to race you in a competitive situation, you can't say a person's fast. Everybody looks fast with nobody next to them. And no disrespect to them. I love Flacco's build. But, dude, until he can keep that car in one piece and actually do a legit in-competition pass against other people, you can't gauge what his speed or his capabilities are. You just can't. You would be remiss if you did. Oh, Flacco's fast. No, I'm not complaining. But saying fast, but again, everybody's fast in testing, dude. Hello? How many times do people sit there and say, oh my God, freaking Cad's car is going to freaking destroy the world? You know, oh my God, awesome freaking shakedown, awesome test pass to just freaking brake or red light or get dragged by freaking Bruce. I mean, you know? Again, is it saying that his car was fast because he was testing, or is it saying because the other car was faster? Which one is it? Again, you need to see them do passes. You need to see them on the track, and not just one time either. You know, I wasn't, and I'm not on any bandwagon, but I can't sit there and bet against Macho until he loses 3-4 times in a row. And again, dude, a lot of people sit there and say, I've seen this, I've seen that, but bro, I mean, competition does something to you. You know, competition, there is a thing that people rise to the occasion and there's people that shrink. And I'm not saying that he shrinks and other people rise. I'm just saying that just the way that it's been, what we've seen, what has happened, That's what's going on. So until there's something to, base yourself off of, you can't change. That's just it. You know what I mean? Until you see Flacco's car do passes in competition, until you see, Chevys and Bullies do passes in competition, you can't really say that one person is better than the other. I mean, dude, there are some people that just, one of the greatest things, and again, I use my sports analogy, one of the greatest things about Michael Jordan was in crunch time, in the playoffs, when it really mattered, when there was a ton of pressure, when, there was a situation where he needed to win, he always rose to the occasion and hit the shot. There was a thing of Tiger wearing that red shirt on Sunday. People would shrink. People would get scared. People could not handle the forcefulness that Tiger Woods brought on a Sunday when he put that red shirt on. I would put you on, bud, but I'm getting ready to go home. Boss just called, so I got to get home and stop playing with you guys. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, dude. Until you see competitive racing, yeah, I mean, nobody's got a faster time slip, but unfortunately, one time slip or a couple of time slips means nothing if you can't pull up next to the other guy. I mean, I've seen a lot of 12 and 13-second cars hand 9 and 10-second cars their ass because they just can't freaking hook in practice. They leave the line bad. They can't do this. They can't. In competition, shit just fucking happens. It just goes fucking south. It goes south. It goes sideways. But they're way faster car. But they just can't handle racing these people or racing in a situation that's competitive. They just can't. So, that's just what happens. I want to see some good racing. Yeah, consistency. But I also want to see racing, dude. Remember, Macho's car isn't the fastest, but you have to put him up there as one of the fastest because he's consistent. He's not going to beat himself 8 times out of 10. So you have to beat him, Yeah, Flacco couldn't buy a race with DM. At the same time, dude, understand something. Where's my car? I'm in it. Why are people asking me, where's my car? I'm in it. Again, it is what it is, dude. I'm not saying that Flacco's slow. And let me say this straight up. I like Flacco's build. I love his car. I love everything. Jesus Christ, this lady nearly freaking jumped out in the middle of the street here. I love Flacco's car. I think his car is hella fast. If he ever gets that car working right, that thing is going to be nothing but drama for everybody. If. Until that if gets turned into a when, I have to be fair. And I think he would be fair, too, to say it. I think he would agree. Until that if turns into a where, if turns into a when, you got to do that. Do I not own a race car or anything, just a daily? Well, what's your... I don't know where you're going with that. Because this is a daily that I race. Why can't you have both? Again, if you're trying to do the whole I'm talking but I ain't got no dog in the fight bit, then you're not going to get far with that. One of the few people in Vegas that could say I would race everything that I owned, and win or lose, I keep racing. And beat cars that I wasn't supposed to beat. I've done it before, I'm going to keep doing it too. What's done to the truck? If you don't know what's done to the truck, dude, then you obviously don't follow me. So I would say go through my IG and figure it out. If CMB and Flacco get their cars to work, there's going to be trouble. I agree. But you see, the thing is, you start the sentence with if. So I can't come from a place of opinion. I got to come from a place of fact. And unfortunately, the fact is that neither one of those two cars have done any competitive any competitive race passes, not test passes, any competitive race passes. So until they do race passes, you know, that's kind of just where it sits, right? I can't tell my setup. Yeah, I can tell that it's set up. It's in the car. How much rear wheel horsepower? All of it? Yeah, I know he's got footage. Again, dude, I'm not saying that he doesn't have footage, and I'm not saying that the car isn't fast. But you can't sit here and say that you can't. Okay, I'm very against saying that people are winning races before the race has ever been run. You know, you can have confidence and say, you're supposed to have confidence and say, I'm going to beat the next guy. But as a whole, as a culture, as fans, we all can't sit there and get behind somebody and say, oh yeah, they're the fastest person in the world, yet we've never seen them race anybody. He's got the fastest 60-foot out of everybody, but he's never lined up next to nobody. Like, you know? That's all I'm getting at. I'm not taking anything away from him. Not at all. Not taking away anything from anybody, dude. Just being really, just straight up. You know? Just being straight up. You can't sit here and say that. So I really hope they get their cars working. I would love to see both of those cars go down the track because I think those things are going to be freaking drama for anybody that line up next year. I really think those two cars are going to be drama. Because if Flacco can match what he did back in freaking in Classic in December, woof, yeah. That car was on a pass before it blew the motor. So we'll see what happens. Well, folks, it's been fun. I had a cool ass time with y'all. I really did. I'm glad that we could actually get these conversations. Maybe we'll do this next Sunday again, you know? Maybe we'll do just like a whole hour just talking and have opinions and, you know, share different info back and forth. You know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a really good thing to have. So I shall see y'all hopefully next week, all right?